I'm making this video because of a story that I saw in the news this week. Maybe other people saw it, maybe other people didn't, but I definitely was interested in this story, and especially when I saw some of the stuff this person was posting on social media. This week, I read a story about a flight attendant who was posing as a pilot so he could get free tickets to go wherever he wanted to go, and he was always posting on social media all of the new places he was traveling to. But of course, he ended up getting caught. But to me, it wasn't about him getting caught. It's about why he was doing this in the first place and the whole lifestyle obsession that is present in modern day society. The lifestyle obsession has gotten out of hand, and this is such a great example of it. Nowadays, a lot of people have huge egos and they want to live their lives like they are royalty. Unfortunately, because of the lifestyle obsession, nowadays a lot of people are not happy living in a nice apartment or a nice house in a nice area. For them, that's not enough. They need significantly more. And this airline attendant is a perfect example of this. I would assume that this person chose to become a flight attendant because they wanted to travel around the planet and get free hotels while doing it. But I guess even that wasn't enough. I guess this person felt like all of their free time had to be spent traveling to some new place, which is why they posed as a pilot to get free tickets when they're not working. And of course, this flight attendant, everywhere they went, they were posting all of it on social media. Some of the pictures I saw were totally hilarious. This guy, who was in his 30s, was very clearly determined to do everything in his power to flex his lifestyle to the whole world. Whether it's this man specifically or other people who are obsessed with the concept of the lifestyle, this has all gotten completely out of hand, and there are a lot of reasons for it. Of course, it all starts with the phone and social media. This guy, if anyone looks at his posts, it's very obvious that he is addicted to his iPhone and uses it at least 6 hours a day, probably more. If he wasn't on his phone and social media as much as he was, it probably never even would have occurred to him to pose as a pilot to get free tickets to go more places in his free time. But he's on his phone all the time, which is a total distraction, and it leads to him playing the comparison game. Everyone who is obsessed with the lifestyle plays the comparison game. It's all about, oh, you went to Starbucks? Well, I went to this super bougie upscale place in the middle of Manhattan, yada, yada, yada. It's all about one-upping people in every aspect of life. But I think it's funny, whether it's a flight attendant or a person working any other generic job, everybody knows that these people don't have the money required to live some millionaire lifestyle. I'm not sure why people who don't even make $100K a year would think that they could convince other people that they live this lavish life. That's just never gonna happen. But these people are blinded by their phones and blinded by the idea that they can prove to the whole world that they're better than everyone else. Which, of course, means that these people aren't actually focused on their own lives. They're focused on proving to other people that they live a good life and that they're happy, instead of actually trying to live a life they enjoy and makes them happy. And I think that's kind of funny, because these people obviously have huge egos, think they're super important, but then when it comes to their day-to-day life, they're not actually focused on maximizing their life. They're just focused on making other people think that they're cool and important and have this amazing lifestyle. Which, of course, that means these people are at some level insecure. People who are confident that they're interesting and know that they live interesting and exciting lives, they don't feel the need to prove that to people. They don't have to go on Instagram and show the whole world because they don't feel the need to. They just live their own lives and they enjoy it. But of course, that's always been one of the main problems with Instagram in particular, is a lot of people who post on Instagram, it's more about the appearance that they have this amazing life as opposed to the fact that they actually do have an amazing life. Obviously, this is extremely vapid and superficial. A lot of people, especially people under the age of 30 who are posting on Instagram all the time, they don't really have a personality. A lot of them, their quote unquote humor is social media they watch, and their quote unquote life is just doing stuff that they only do because they saw someone on their phone do it. And I feel like people who still use social media all the time have not caught on to the reality that nowadays a lot of people have snapped out of the social media fog and trance that they were in. And if they are on a site like Instagram, it's really obvious to them which people are just on the app way too much. But unfortunately for people obsessed with the lifestyle, to them, Instagram is everything. The pictures, the visuals, the likes, the comments. To them, there basically is no life outside of social media. To them, the point of existence is to prove to everyone else that their life is exciting and fun, and that they're traveling the world and all this other stuff. But again, some of these people make less than 100K and then they're flexing. Like, dude, you're probably committing fraud, man. We know. And I think the biggest curse of the lifestyle obsession, these people who travel to Europe, then to Africa, then to Asia, then wherever else, the biggest curse of the lifestyle obsession is that no matter where they go and no matter what they do, their number one daily activity is they stare at their phone. And in my opinion, the phone addiction makes it literally impossible for these people to enjoy their lives. I actually think if most of these people just put their phone down and lived this life where they're traveling around the earth, they would be so happy. But because they're on their phone every day, they are not happy because they are always comparing themselves to someone else, which is the biggest mental curse ever. And the worst part of the comparison game is that all of us alive today, like, we are rich. We do have the best lifestyles ever, and it's not even close. Imagine explaining to someone alive 100 years ago the concept of air conditioning and heating, the concept of a refrigerator and a freezer. Imagine explaining iPhones and televisions and video game consoles. The most rich and famous person on planet Earth 100 years ago had access to none of that. But for some reason, people think because they don't spend 2 months a year in Europe just pointlessly drinking, that their lives are totally terrible and that they're these pathetic peasants. Meanwhile, literally everyone alive 100 years ago would look at our lives and go, wow, all of them are so ridiculously lucky. Somebody who lived in the United States 100 years ago could have never imagined casually going on a multi-week vacation to Europe. But unfortunately, nowadays, way too many people think that they're poor peasants unless they're constantly traveling the world. I absolutely used to be obsessed with the idea of the lifestyle. 10 years ago, I was absolutely on Instagram and I was looking at all the pro athletes and all the famous rappers, and I definitely wanted to live the lifestyle the way they did. I absolutely thought it sounded so cool to be in one city one day, another the next, another the next. I thought it sounded so fun and exciting. And of course I wanted to do that, just like everyone does. Who doesn't want to go around the country and get VIP treatment everywhere they go? It'd be amazing. But there are two main things I realized that ultimately got me to stop obsessing over the lifestyle. The first was realizing athletes are traveling because they play in different cities. Rappers are traveling because they perform in different cities and work with other rappers in the studio in different cities. But me, what am I going to do if I go around everywhere? just go to a new bar every single day or whatever, go to some new tourist spot every single day? What am I really gonna do that actually leads to me achieving my goals in life? And with that, the older I've gotten, I've realized that unfortunately, a lot of people who are rich or famous or both, a lot of them actually aren't happy at all. There are people on this planet worth hundreds of millions of dollars who every day their number one thought is a regret over an investment they could have done that would have made them more money, even though they have enough money to live comfortably the rest of their lives. And I feel like in 2026, we have a better view of this. I feel like it's really easy nowadays to go on Twitter and just see somebody who has $100 million but is totally miserable. When I realized that I wouldn't actually be doing anything if I was going around traveling, and realized that a lot of the people who live that life aren't exactly happy anyway, all of a sudden, I didn't really desire to live the traveling lifestyle anymore. And I feel like nowadays, part of growing up is seeing all these people obsessed with all this superficial stuff. And of course, in the moment, obsessing over it too, but eventually growing up and desiring different things instead. And honestly, the people who don't grow out of the lifestyle obsession, part of me does feel bad for them. Part of me definitely doesn't feel bad for them because a lot of them have huge egos and think that they're special even though they don't really do much. But part of me really does feel bad for them because these people are just totally miserable for no reason. And they live in the mental prison of their phone and social media. And unfortunately, people like this flight attendant aren't going to leave that mental prison anytime soon. Hopefully you all enjoyed the video. If you did, please like, subscribe, and comment. This has been Weedified. I will see you all in the next video.